is random. Oh, no, I like this one. Okay, are you a good dancer? And I will first. Yeah, I think I'm a good dancer. Good by myself, but when it comes to like two people waltzing and like slow dancing, two people dancing, I'm not good because I always try to lead. So I've been working on following better for a long time. But as a one person dancer, I feel pretty confident. And I will pass to Tamara because I'm really curious to hear. Are you a good dancer, Tamara?
I feel like I think I'm a good dancer, but that it may not be true. That's my honest opinion. But I love to dance, so I do it with enthusiasm, and I think maybe that's enough to overcome the limitations that I have. And I'll pass to Juan Carlos.
Well, here in Barranquilla, like we have this carnival every year. So like all people that live here is always like taught to dance for the carnival and like our dances. So since we are little, so yes, like I dance, but like normally but here in Barranquilla, there is people that dance really, really, really well because there is like a lot of rhythms like salsa, champeta. One of these days, I can show you some of these really moved music, and I will pass to Jake.
I play music so I don't have to dance. Okay, and I don't think mosh pits are dancing. What about you, Dapp?
No, me no. I'm terrible dancer. Yeah, no way I dance well. Yeah, you Nate.
I'm actually an excellent dancer, but that's because I had to take dance when I was younger with my sister because she was scared too, and so we would take jazz and tap and ballet, and it was really fun, and I just really like dancing. So yeah, I will pass. That's everybody, right? Yeah.
Awesome. I love that. Yeah, I was gonna say one of my very best friends. She's like, you'd probably look at her and just think she is the worst dancer. But she goes out and she just owns it and she's so confident and she doesn't give a shit like about what anybody else thinks. So that makes her, I think, a good dancer. So anyway, I hope everybody's doing okay. I've been a little like busy and scattered, so I'm trying to like settle in here, and I just poked Marco, so hopefully he will be coming along. And I think Tamara, if that was you that threw all these nice things in the agenda, or maybe it was Marco. Okay. So Marco is not here. I guess Manu is here. Welcome, Manu. I'm going to add one thing to the agenda and maybe start with that until Marco is able to jump in, because I think he had some ideas in leading some of these discussions. I'm just going to start with Eduardo can't come this week, but we had a great session this morning with Manuel and Mitch and Griff talking about Hatcher content, and Jeff was sharing some of the work that he'd done with diagramming. So Manuel, did you want to share with the group what you got out of that session and a little bit about that meeting this morning and the comms pieces?
Yeah, hi everyone. Well, I got that there's a lot of content and that there's a lot of things that are very complicated. Maybe not complicated, just intricate. A lot of moving parts, and yeah, I'm gonna be working on with the designers I know to get the diagrams and the infographics, get it to the right audience, and make it as open and available as possible. I mean, we have a token engineering audience to keep in mind, but if we can get the infographics and the content, the diagrams and the metaphors to be easily digestible for other types of audiences, then that's even better. So that's what I'm trying to do overall.
Cool. And yeah, so we basically created this document, and I'm sure there are some things Tamara will add into the Hatcher Comms Epic, but for now I just put it in a document, and Eduardo and Griff added to it just to outline like what pieces are in the works and what are the reference documents for the people working on these. So Eduardo and Mitch are going to work on a like 5 steps to the hatch. It's like a very high level, super simple for busy token engineers of like apply to the trusted seed, Swiss membership Dapp, and then launching in 3 phases. And that's it. And then Eduardo is working on a deeper piece of like how to become the hatcher, which is much more in depth of like how to, and they're trying to actually cut it because it's a little long. And then Mitch did a wonderful forum post, which hopefully we can get some help in distributing. So yeah, that's all there. Eduardo is leading those efforts with help of Mitch and Manuel, and Jeff is just like gonna give some feedback on the visual designs, and Manuel is gonna be working on the draft for the Hatcher diagrams. And so I've handed off that issue. So hey, Griff, Lauren, Livia, Mitch, hey, I was just talking about just saying good things.
I heard.
So, do you guys want to say hi and how you're doing real quick? Or we actually had a great question today of, are you a good dancer?
Oh, I would go with no. And although I dance a lot on camera, so the top half of me moves. And then, yeah, sorry for being late. Marco, Lauren, and I were stuck in another meeting that went long. Sorry about that, guys. Common simulator, so it's okay, right? I'll pass it to Lauren.
Hey guys, yeah, I'm just trying to get more involved with TEC, so I'm just sort of like here figuring things out. I'm a really good dancer, actually. I've been dancing since I was like 2 years old, so I like dance professionally and competitively, so I don't just do this on camera. And I'll pass it to Marco.
Thank you. Was there a question or something, Jess?
Yeah, just like how are you doing, and are you a good dancer?
Oh yeah, I'm really good. I used to be a good dancer, actually, like in the disco, you know. There, I was like the king of the disco, but not anymore. I think, I don't know. And also at weddings, I was dancing at weddings like crazy, you know. But my daughter is a professional dancer, so she's way better than me. And I'm feeling good, really good after the Common Simulator call now. Felt a little bit tired earlier than that, and apologies for being late. We just had stuff to discuss over there. And I will pass it on to Tam. Did you go? Yeah, Zep?
Yeah, we can pass to Livia.
Oh, okay.
Hello. I'm feeling a bit like my voice is super weird. I'm coughing a little bit, so I'm like with weird voice and health. But yeah, I'm a really good dancer. I love dancing. I think it's the natural way of being high. My favorite one. And who hasn't gone yet?
Mitch.
Oh, I'm the last one. I'm doing good. Had a great discussion an hour or so ago about all these Hatcher documents. So that was really good. I would say between the range of 3 to 5 beers, I'm an excellent dancer. Anything outside of that, yeah, you don't want to watch. Yeah, that's it for me. I'll pass it back.
Okay, well, the not dancers can learn from all of our Brazilian and professional dancers on the call. Maybe we can do some virtual dance lessons sometime. Okay, so yeah, so glad you guys jumped in, and no worries on being right at the perfect moment. We were just sharing a bit, Manuel was sharing about our Hatcher Comms work session this morning. Eduardo couldn't join us, but yeah, we've got a document which hopefully can go into the Epic on GitHub. And then, yeah, I see Marco, I think you added a bunch of stuff here. does anybody have anything we can add to the agenda? Now's the time. And then Marco, you usually seem to like to handle like discussions, and then towards the end, or once the discussions are finished, we can jump a bit into the Zen Hub. So Marco, take it away.
Yeah, thanks. Thanks for the update on the hatch content. So, quick question. So I can basically grab those and put it in the Epic, and we can consider these drafts or completed.
I would get with Eduardo and just align on what's already there, and then the new issues that need to be created that came out of the meeting this morning. I think most of them are there, and maybe just one needs to be created for a new high-level piece that we're calling like 5 steps to the hatch. So I would get with Eduardo maybe to sync on getting that stuff in the Epic.
All right, cool. Yeah, I added a couple of agenda topics for this call. Number one was the Discord onboarding, and I would like you guys to share some of your ideas. Some of you already done that through Discord, so I pasted them over here. The second one is the onboarding video. I just want to get some updates and see how we're progressing so that we can align everybody who's working on the onboarding video, including Jess, Zepp, Manu, and others. Then content pieces, updates, I guess that's already been done with the hatch content. Update from Manu on the token engineering list. And also, I'm not sure we have Eduardo on the call, but the last item was the flow diagram of the DAO. And maybe just if you had a call with him, Jess, to give us a brief update on that. But first things first is Discord onboarding. I would like everyone to share, like to just go one round and everybody share their maybe ideas or best practices or something their experience from joining other Discord servers. One of the ideas that I had, we could have maybe a start here channel that just shows like basic information of what is DSC, and then maybe ask a user, that person, what they want to do next, or what they want to learn or know more about DEC, and then maybe have a list of working groups with like this short description of what each working group is, and then a link to that working group. Maybe we could have a bot that sends like a greeting whenever a user joins a new channel and say like, hey, like welcome to this channel, and like please read the pinned message above, or something like that. Just to give them more context and information, because when they come to that channel, they will, read, have a history of conversations. And I think it's important to just first get a little bit more context about that channel, and then they can engage in the conversation. Then the Griff also suggested one of the flows on the Discord, and I think Metaverde already replied, and we're having some issues with the verification, so we're going to fix that. I was also considering maybe having a forum channel. I'm not sure if that's even possible to like kind of bridge the posts from the forum on the Discord, or somehow like cross-link them, and that being like part of the resources that the user can like click on the forum and then just have the links to the latest forum posts. And then maybe also like during the onboarding, we have like a bot that sends a direct message to send a list of contacts, or maybe stewards, usernames of each working group, so that that person can like know who to reach out if they want to join a working group. And just for the regular help or other questions, we just link to the support channel. Those were my ideas. And yeah, I just passed it on to Griff, and for share your ideas.
Yeah, I mean, I wrote them in the comms channel, but basically reduce the number of channels that you see when you first say. I mean, honestly, I don't know the solution. All I know is the problem. I keep having to add roles manually to people who I want to join us in a call on Discord. So it's like, clearly the onboarding is broken. Because these are smart guys, right? Like, I don't know. They should be able to figure it out. So I don't really know the solution, but I threw some ideas. Basically, fewer rooms when they join, so they don't have to guess where to click. Ideally, it'd be one room that they see. I think we have like a 3-step thing where they have to click 2 emojis in 2 different rooms and a DM to get in, and maybe that's like too much of a maze. It sounds like we still have to have the DM. I do think it's very critical. So much money is being stolen from people by these Discord bots that are impersonating people. I don't want a Discord bot impersonating me or any of you guys saying, hey, click this, there's been an upgrade to the TEC, you know, and then they install something and all their private keys are wiped. So I do think it's really critical that we have that we do make sure that we don't let bots into our sacred space. So if we have to have the DM, we have with the CAPTCHA, we have to have it. But maybe one challenge that we run into is if you don't have it so that Discord automatically pops up pictures, you can't see the CAPTCHA. So maybe a different CAPTCHA bot that just asks you, hey, what's 3 + 7, you know? Token engineers should be able to figure that out. And then I don't think that there's any other comments. Just let's streamline it as much as possible. I'll pass it to Zapp.
Yeah, I pretty much agree with what you were saying, guys. And one thing I would add, but maybe it's a lot of work, but we were discussing it on, I believe it was on a Stuart's call, making an onboarding working group where ideally we have people from all the time zones, so every time someone joined there, we can keep the one we were having until at least, like, even when we grow a lot, we still have this one receiving we have now. That would be ideally. But yeah, following the things you were saying, guys, I pretty much agree with, especially with the thing on the bots. We don't want them, that's for sure. So if to keep them away, we have to make things a bit harder to onboard. I think it's what we have to do. And I'll pass it to Libby.
Yeah, I don't have much to add. I like the idea of having a one-on-one onboarding. That sounds a bit like overhead, but I think if we can make a system to make that work, that could be very nice. Maybe every person that joins, someone in the community reacts to them joining, and then that means that person went to talk to them one-on-one. Yeah, Zaptimus? Yeah.
And yeah, I also like the idea of, I mean, we're doing it now, but try to have a place saying where we have these meetings on Wednesday, feel free to join, to redirect people there.
And I pass to Tim.
I don't have that much to add. I feel like there are people who know this better than I do, so certainly defer to them. I would say when Septimus and Livia were speaking, what it made me think of is like orientation on campus. You know, you get to a new campus and there's an orientation area where you learn about like what's on the campus and where to go find things and what the schedule is. And so maybe it's something like our onboarding underneath there. I know it says hello world and rules must check, but maybe it's like orientation, and pinned there is like everything you need to know about how to orient yourself on our Discord server. And that's idea just came to me as they were speaking. So I hope it's useful. And I'll pass to Nate.
Yeah, I like that a lot. I think that having kind of a difficult process at the beginning is actually a good thing, because you get to filter out people who are just kind of visiting and leaving real quick. But I think if you can guide them to where they want to be, especially if they're looking for a particular working group or a specific way they want to contribute to the TEC, having, being guided to the right working group and then being engaged one-on-one after that is really, I think, ideal for onboarding. But outside of that, I really like the idea of forum posts being bridged over to the Discord. Maybe not every forum post, but it's like maybe things that need to be voted on. So you just have kind of votes that, community polling and stuff like that are transferred from the forum to the Discord. So with that, I will pass it to Jake.
No, I think those are great ideas. The only thing I am concerned about is like the back end stuff. Like, we really are dependent on one person being technically capable of fix broken stuff. And Kay's in the wrong time zone. You know what I mean? Well, not the wrong time zone, but we need somebody else in a different time zone that we can ask besides just him. Moving forward in the future, especially if we end up with a lot of people on our server. I made an
have
issue for it.
Vi. We have Vi.
Who?
Vi. VV Vi.
Oh, okay, never mind.
I would say that yeah, for me is like that people is not checking the code of conduct because we have 102 members in the server, but there are only 38 checks in the code of conduct, and that is really important to be able to dish praise and to receive praise. So if we are wanting people to praise here in the Discord as well, this is like important, and I see like we maybe yeah, we need to explain that more on how can people get all the permits in the Discord.
Let's pass it to Mitch.
I think a lot of the opinions have already been based out here, but basically in agreement. Like if we make it a little bit harder and more hoops to jump, I think we're going to get more quality or engaged people. So I think that's kind of what everyone's been saying. I see Griff just bobbing his head a little bit. I mean, I'll pass it to Menu.
Yeah, right. Well, I guess I'm the one that got onboarded the most recent. So I just want to shout out some vocal praise to Livia and Jessica for assisting and talking me through things, meeting with me for half an hour, and yeah, I like the one-on-one. I like meeting with people. It might not get as viable as we start getting more traction and a lot of people start coming in. But I agree that the personal human touch is where we ought to be at. And having that said, I like the way onboarding is right now. I'm an example that it worked. I'm engaged. I want to commit as much as I can. And yeah, I think we should keep going that route.
All right, thanks a lot, Manu. Do we have anyone else? Craig was there, but he's gone, I guess. So that's everybody. All right, I took the notes in the agenda items there. So Vivi is already working on fixing some of the technical stuff, and I think not showing all the channels before user actually checks the rules, and then we're gonna maybe update something where we have like start here and just show the where the working groups, list them, and then user can either, I don't know, maybe react with an emoji, and then this working group channel will appear or something like that. Anyway, we will figure it out and try to enhance that and fix the first issue of people actually not creating, checking the rules and seeing the channels. Yeah. All right. Anything else anyone wants to add, or we can move to the next item? Nope. All right. Next one is onboarding video. Multiple people are working on that one. Zap, Edu, Jess are doing the interviews. And Manu also said he's going to be working on the production and editing. So I was just maybe a little bit concerned whether this will be done. The interviews and the content will be done this week, and everything actually prepared so that maybe Manu can start working on that potentially early next week, and then also potentially be actually done by the end of this sprint. So Jess, you want to give us an update on the interviews, storyboards?
Yeah, and I just explained a bit the process so you can understand like how the flow is going. And yeah, I had a sync with Manu this morning, So Zepti and Eduardo and I have been collecting interviews. We have enough already to do a video, like even it's a lot because we want to keep the video kind of tight, but we can definitely finish by Friday. I have 3 more interviews scheduled. Zepti has some, Eduardo has some, and that's enough. And so I talked to Manu this morning and our discussion was he's going to help me, like he's going to cat herd everybody and get all the interviews in one place. Then we have to cut the raw into the best bites. Then we can create the storyboard and weave together the best of the interviews. And this community-oriented video can be released on its own as like, yay, look at our awesome community. And then I think with the Hatch app, the front end of the Hatch app, we can see, I think the UI UX is good enough so that we don't need a how to use this Hatch app video there. But I think there's still a decision to be made whether we want just the community video on the front end of the Hatch app, or if you feel there's like, we should have a small introduction to the Hatch app, or like do 1 minute to 2 minutes of the best of the community video, and then at the end have like a, and you're here, you've landed on this Hatch app page, and now put your WXI in to help do good stuff for the world. So that's the whole thing in a nutshell. So Manu is going to corral the interviews and cut the raw, and Zepti will assist, or I will assist if needed, because it's a lot to cut 15 interviews, and then pull the best bites, and then Manu can run from there and get his video editor to do something really flashy with like music or TC graphics.
Yeah.
So
my question also would be like, do we have some kind of like idea? Maybe Manu can answer that question, or should we provide them that idea of what do we want that video to be, to communicate, like, you know, what's the scenario, the kind of storyboard, what kind of music, the arrangement, all that kind of stuff. So I just want to make sure that Manu is comfortable with that. Like after cutting those rows, that he's comfortable, that he knows exactly, okay, I know what I have to do now. Let's get to the job. Yeah, Manu, go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah, I talked about this with Jessica earlier. We have an idea about, you know, putting on the interviews together, weaving them, and creating a story about the community, who we are, and going from from there it would be easy to go from the why to the what, and then from the benefits to the features. But yeah, I mean, it can go either way. You can give me a guideline as to how it'll go, or we'll propose one, you'll approve it, and then we'll get on with the production and editing of the video. Either way, Jessica has experience in production and this type of media. So I'll be working closely with her to get this done. But yeah, either way, I can get an idea, a guideline for you guys, or I can propose one from the video editors that I'm working with.
Yeah, I would love to hear the proposals, definitely. So go ahead. Like, that's why you're here. So, okay. You know, everything is in place. Everything is good with the onboarding video. That's everything I wanted to know. So thank you all.
Can I ask one quick question on the onboarding video? Are there very many token engineers interviews, like Trent or Simon or Angela, Shebna, Zargam, Jeff?
I have Simon, I have Angela, Jeff I'm doing this week, Shebnam I have this week, and I haven't reached out to Trent. He's on the list, but we can get him.
We also have YGG.
List is on that issue. I can chunk it to you, Griff. I was going to put it in Steward to see if there's anybody else that you think is really, but yeah, again, we don't want to get so many, but yeah, I wanted to have those core people.
It would be great to have Zargam. If you can get Zargam, 15 minutes, you guys have calls with them on the reg, so that would be critical.
I think I have him on there, but I'll double check. But yeah, I can grab him this week. It's just literally 5 minutes, so it's fast.
Cool. Onboarding video is on schedule. Everything is great, guys. You're rocking it, and I'm looking forward to that. All right. Next item on our agenda are content pieces. Jess, thank you very much for updating this agenda item. I just wanted to know how we're progressing with that, and whether we will have, like, by the end of this sprint, those content pieces ready to be published.
Yeah, I wish Eduardo was here. He's
Yeah.
heading that up, but definitely I know he has a draft already for the how to become a hatcher piece. And the flow diagram, Manuel said he's going to make a draft by the end of the week to push that forward. And then the only thing that is not in the sprint is this kind of like super high level 5 steps to TEC hatch, which kind of came out of the meeting today. Eduardo's going to take that on with Mitch, so I think they can work on that for the sprint. And there's like a visual for that one, Marco, that I don't know if you had bandwidth for, or we could ask Manuel. There's kind of 2 diagrams. There's like the little egg one, and then there's the shapes launching in 3 parts one.
Yeah,
but yeah,
I noticed that in your comments. I'm gonna take a look at it, and we'll see I'll see what I can do. Yeah, we probably can do that.
But yeah, maybe just chat with Eduardo to see like where he's at. But Mitch is like pretty rearing to go, so it seems like. So
Yeah, throw it on. I'm ready.
Yeah, thanks a lot, Mitch.
Mhm.
All right, 5 steps TEC HU. Okay. I'll ping you, Jess, if I need more context on this one. All right, that's it for that part. And then the final thing, Manu, how are you doing with the token engineering list of people, projects, and all that kind of stuff?
Yeah, I'm doing good. I am curating that and compiling that for the Crypto Commons Gathering conference, which I'm working at that with Felix and Julio. So yeah, I have a lot of right now it's I think 64, except the ones from here, so probably around 40ish that I have right now, and I'll keep adding from the ones people among the community know. So that's I've got that going for sure.
Thanks. Great. All right. Let me see what's up next. That's basically everything. And by the way, those are the issues that we have on a Zen Hub. So there's no need for me to go to the Zen Hub. Basically, that's all from there. We got the updates. No, nothing further from my end. Jess, if you have anything more that you wanted to discuss on this call, or we want to close it earlier. I don't know. It's up to you.
yeah, I'm down to close early. I just wanted to say that, just so it's clear, I think I've communicated to most people, but I'm kind of taking a step back a bit to focus more on like deliverables. So making sure the video gets done, the piece that I'm writing and all that. So if anybody has any questions, if you can go to Marco and create an issue and go to Marco if you have questions or need feedback, because we're employing some other contributors like Craig to come and help to edit some of this Hatcher content and other things going on. So yeah, I'll chat with you, Marco, but I'm going to kind of go heads down into my creative cave and work on some of these projects. So I won't be like leading, you don't have to come to me to consult, just go to Marco. And then
Or Jake.
or Jake. And then if you need me, pull me in. Oh, and the last part was, we don't have. I think I accidentally glazed over it. Mitch did an awesome forum post on the hatch, and it needs distribution. So Marco, if you could create an issue and find somebody that's willing to take that on.
What does distribution mean?
Distribution means making sure that it gets into the Praise Quant blog, which Craig is really good at, and the stewards are now going to be helping to like source content for that. And distribution means sharing that post in various channels. So I have a distribution list that I normally work from, which is like whatever communities that it's pertinent to, like token engineering general. It's about the hatch. So maybe, finding channels and Telegram and Discord in our ecosystem to share that with, that would be appropriate. And sometimes it's like a more insider post, so it'll be just distributing in TEC general and in the stewards group, the comms channel. But sometimes if it's like a bigger, like probably this 5 steps to the TEC hatch, that needs full distribution, meaning like a tweet and a post in, you know, the Commons-Stack channel and in token engineering channels and in some other partnership channels. But yeah, not in a spammy way. Of course, only when it's like appropriate. And would be great. I've been talking with Tamara about building a distribution team because it's mostly been me just like shilling in channels, and I haven't had time to like do it properly, and it kind of needs to be built out like a distribution mafia or distribution team. So I think if anybody here is looking to contribute, that is something that you could take on and build and lead, which would be great, and then just pull in other contributors, because like it only ever comes from me, so it looks super spammy and people probably get really annoyed. So if we had like, you know, a few people posting in different channels would be nice, and writing more tailored messages to those groups, like, hey, this is why you care, not just like, here's a link, you know. I'm throwing links everywhere. So I think we could do a better job with sharing the content.
One thing to ask, maybe, should Ivy do that distribution?
I think Ivy's pretty full already, and she's specifically focused on Twitter. I think this is like a separate project that needs a lead, in my opinion, that could like own it and really make it nice. Ivy's pretty full.
I don't steal Ivy from Zach. The transparency team is rocking. On the distribution mafia, I think that, and Ivy is a major piece of it, where because she makes it so easy. You just go through her little like, yo, tweet this, and polishes it. And so it's sorry, Tim.
Yeah, it's okay. Yeah, I was just going to say exactly what Jess said. It's I think it's a substream under comms that needs at least one person who's focused exclusively on it, because it's multiple channels and it's, you know, strategic and what kinds of pieces goes out where. So perhaps using the methodology that Jess is currently using and starting with that as a foundation to continue to build and also bring more people into helping with that too.
Yeah, and even on the Commons-Stack side, I know we're separate, but it's actually a pain point as well on the Commons-Stack side. So I think if we built a distribution machine, they could feed into each other, and also would be great. My vision is that we have partners as well, and we kind of did this. We started like a public goods Twitter collective, but there's only like Giveth and Commons-Stack TC and Angela with TE Academy. So I think, you know, we haven't really expanded in the distribution direction. So it's something we can build on if somebody has the attention to give it. So
all right,
it's a lot of work. Yeah.
I created the issue on ZenHub. I tagged you just to provide more information on your distribution list or your current workflow approach strategy. I also asked if I would be up to do that for this time, and then, you know, eventually we will find another person or contributor. They will emerge. It will be organically, you know. All right, that's it from my end. Nothing more to add. Anyone else has anything more? Oh yeah,
I got ideas. I really want to. My mission this week is to get everyone energized of creating content specifically targeted at token engineers, and really reining in our focus so that we can make sure that there's this critical mass of token engineers that we have to have legitimacy in our mission, which is advancing token engineering. So if we can just keep this in mind when we're working, because right now I think we have maybe like 6 or 7 like superstar legitimate token engineers that are on, and they're like, yeah, I know that he's definitely going to be part of this, you know, and that's okay. That's pretty good. But we really want to make this like a solid concentration so that when people look at like, oh yeah, all the token engineers are getting together and they're deciding the future of token engineering, you know, because like we have this token economy under the base layer, but that's, as you can tell, how much energy are we putting into this token economy? How much energy are we putting in the culture, right? The real important piece of this is that we have a solid culture of token engineering, a solid culture to facilitate token engineering stewardship. And bringing in part of that to be successful, we have to have the token engineers in with us. And if we have all the token engineers, the rest of the people will line up and fall in. So I just want to like put this mindset or strategic approach into our ears, saying so that we can try to make sure that all of our pieces are assuming that we're talking to token engineers and really targeted there, especially for the, I think the hatch outreach is really very beneficial. Yeah, that's all.
All right. Thanks a lot. Well, I guess focusing more on the content for the token engineer, that's something to think about for any future content pieces we will be producing. Anyone else?
All the discussion posts are posted for disputable voting. So that's all done and ready to be discussed. So it's there on the forum.
I was actually going to ask because disputable voting is really awesome. But is there going to be any kind of piece that's covering all of the kind of elements or modules that will come after the hatch is over with that kind of constitutes the commons? Whether it's just like the disputable voting, the bonding curve, and the conviction voting all wrapped in one?
There probably will be eventually. The big challenge that we have is had a lot of trouble getting the hatch ready. So the hatch smart contracts still aren't frozen on the common swarm side. This is also probably updating. Our roadmap is going to be delayed for sure because there's just this major milestone that the common swarm keeps getting stuck and it keeps getting delayed one week. And now I think it is the slow step for the hatch. So I would say that I don't believe that we can legitimately launch the hatch smart contracts at this point. Well, maybe if we're lucky, if everything goes perfectly, we could do it like really early April. But I wouldn't count on that. I would count on delays, just the timeline. So like hatch freeze, 2 weeks audits, a week or two of integrating feedback from the audits in code base, deploying a test, and then deploying the real thing. That's kind of like the overarching like things that have to happen on the dev side. So this is kind of good. It gives us more time to get some content out and really do the ramp up for all the things that we want to get done. But it's worth noting. And this, because of this delay though, because they're still focused on the hatch, there's a lot of little details that we don't know yet, like the bonding curve and conviction voting, disputable conviction voting. These things, there's just like some work that still needs to be done. And so talking about them in the general, we don't want to say something wrong when we don't have the details. It's one of those things like, yeah, we could give high level, but because we don't have the foundational details, it makes it a little scary for me at least to really dive into even the overviews. Hopefully this will all be done this week, next week, and then we'll have all of those foundational details. But at least on the very highest level, there's 4 pieces that we need to talk about, and the 2 pieces that we can, the one piece that we can talk for sure really well about is disputable voting. And so we can dive into that as much as we want because that's all audited and it's cool. But then there's the Celeste piece, there's the disputable conviction voting, and the augmented bonding curve, all of which need a confirmation before we dive?
And just that being said, because there is a lot flying, I think we just focus on things as they come. Like the main thing now is getting people into the Swiss Association. Like that's the number one CTA. So I think it's kind of scary that details aren't there, but we just focus on like, what is the thing we need now? We need people to be in the trusted seed. We need people to be, Swiss Association members. And by the way, that Commons, Chris is working on the Commons Stack piece about how to join the Swiss Association. So we'll also want to promote that on our channels, make sure like Ivy tweets it and that it gets distributed to the TEC people. So yeah, I think focus on that. Hatcher content people are rolling. And then, yeah, so Griff, I think if that sounds good to you, I think it's not as scary if we just focus on like, what is the main call to action in this step that we're at now.
Yeah, totally. Swiss membership Dapp is super fucking cool. 3 blockchains are involved. Rinkeby, XDAI, and mainnet. At the end of it, you become a legal member of a Swiss association. Okay, like what the fuck? What kind of Dapp is this? Super cool. And Marco designed it, or helped finish the. I should say, Sergey designed it initially. But so and we have the other big piece that we can focus on is the hatch. We have the hatch. The hatch is. And the commons up, the hatch itself needs to be designed. And we have this dashboard that Jake, Vitor, Fabio, Marco has been working on a little bit. Jeff has been in there. I've been in there. Mitch, Lauren are starting to jump in too. So this dashboard is really cool. It's basically the common simulator, but for real. So it's a really cool piece. And we just keep harping on these things. As they come out, and then eventually we'll get to the juicy stuff.
All right. Thanks a lot, guys.
Is that the show?
Yeah, I think it is. Jess, I just passed it back to you. You can close it.
Yeah, it was great. So much energy going on. Reach out to Marco again if you have any questions or if you want to contribute or find out what's going on. And thanks everybody for all your energy. It's really flowing nicely now. So we just keep our heads down and keep focusing on the hatch, hatching our little eggy.